Welcome to the Next Level Facebook Ads Podcast with Phil Graham. We help you master Facebook ads and give you an unfair advantage over your competition. Are you ready? Let's go.
What's up, podcast family? Welcome to the Next Level Facebook Ads Podcast, episode 483. Phil Graham here. It is August 11th, 2026. And today I want to talk about what your Facebook and Instagram ad comments are trying to tell you and how you can use them to try and make your marketing and your ads stronger and better. I hope you guys are having an amazing week. I can't believe we're already almost halfway through August. Fall is within reach. And if you're a fall, winter person, a sports person, a holiday person, like I am, you're probably pretty excited. So I can't wait. I'm excited for today's show because it would blow your mind what I hear from people, from clients and potential clients when they talk about their comments on their ads. I'll get into that in just a minute, but in general, looking at how most advertisers do this, so many of them, they look at their comments and they treat it as something that they have to manage, like a kind of a boring, laborious task that sucks. However, these comments can sometimes be the best consumer research available, and it's free. Well, you got to pay for the ad, obviously, but like getting these comments is like gold in some situations. You'll get people that tell you why they're confused or what they don't believe or what's stopping them from buying or what they wish you included in the offer or questions they have. But today, I want to show you guys how to use these comments to make your ads and your marketing stronger and better. Before we do that, I wanted to mention two quick things. First of all, this is 2026. It blows my mind that I started this podcast in 2017, early in 2017. I can't remember the exact month, but it was like March or April or something. So we're literally over 9 years in, and I've done an episode every single week for over 9 years. Like that, it just blows my mind. Like that is not easy to do. So many people jump from one thing to the next, and they're experts on everything, which they're really experts on nothing when they do that. And this is a good example of just staying focused on your key core competence, like a basketball player in the NBA, not trying to play 10 different professional sports, focusing on their sport. I just love doing this. The reason I mentioned this is because there's so much info out there about ads and marketing. Much of it is crap. People that learned it 2 weeks ago, or they're just regurgitating crap they got from somebody else or AI or whatever, and they don't even know if it's true. I love doing this for you guys, and I'm going to keep doing it for you guys every single week. The other thing I wanted to quickly mention, if you guys need help with your ads, whether it's somebody to run your ads for you or some one-on-one coaching for either one of those things, just go to my website, philgrahamdigital.com, or DM me on Instagram at philgrahamdigital, and let's connect. All right, so let's jump right in and let's talk about first, what do comments really reveal about your ad that your ad maybe didn't talk about or your ad did not answer? So when you're looking at your comments, and first I'm going to start off with the thing that blows my mind that I still don't believe it, but it's true so often. When I talk to someone, whether it's a consulting client or a new client or a potential client, and we look at their ads, this has happened so many times, probably in the hundreds of times, maybe even more. And I'll see comments in their ads from people, and whoever owns the business or Facebook page for this ad never even took the time to reply or even like the damn thing. They ignored comments. You're spending money to reach people, and then you've got somebody that's actually taking their time to comment. And many times these are like, I've seen comments that are like, oh my gosh, I love this brand or I love this product. Thank you so much. Like, and they ignore it. You would think people would not do that, but so many advertisers do. And if that's you, I'm not trying to beat you up on that. I know that life is crazy. Business is crazy. You only have so much time in the day and you got a million things going on. So it doesn't mean you don't care if that's you. However, not responding to comments is something that can hurt your business. It can make you really look bad. It can be costly in many different ways. So if you're doing that, please stop. Whether you have to do it or get somebody else to do it for you, answer the comments, please. Even if you have to just batch it once a week or once a day for 10 minutes, just go through everything and answer those comments, please. But let's talk about what the comments reveal from your ad. So what you want to look for in your comments, because it's not just about answering comments. Like this episode is about how to use comments to make your ads better. So one thing you want to do is you want to look for repeated comments in your ad. And it doesn't have to be in the same ad, because maybe your ads are similar and you want to look for repeated comments that are like questions in the comments. So if you're seeing a question repeated 3, 4, 5 times from different people in the comment section of your ads, even if it's not the same ad, then that is a sure sign that you're not answering their questions in the ad itself. And you might want to create one that does that. Now, people might be confused about like the price or the process or what it exactly is you're selling or offering or what happens next. Like there's so many different things. So if it's just one question, that could be random. But if you're seeing repeated questions that are similar to each other, that is gold. And that is something you want to focus on, not only answering that question in the comments, but creating an ad that also answers that question as well. Next thing you want to focus on is comments that really expose any kind of objections. So whether it's somebody saying, hey, this is too expensive, or people questioning whether it works in their situation, maybe they're comparing it to something else that's out there in a good or bad way. Many times it might be in a negative way or anything like that. These objections can be great material for another ad in the future. We're going to talk about how to deal with bad comments here in a minute, but if they're constructive, that could be something that you want to open your mind to. Don't just dismiss it, because to me, if somebody says, hey, you're too expensive, or this seems really expensive compared to something else, that's a prime gold opportunity for me to address that and hopefully open their eyes to whatever they're comparing it to, because so many times they're comparing it to something that's not as good and could be worse for them. So use that. Don't have a closed mind when you get a comment that's challenging or negative. Use that and ask yourself if you can put that in an ad, not the comment, but cover that objection in an ad. So what you want to do is you want to turn questions, objections, things like that into new creatives, where you create an ad or a series of ads where you answer those questions that people have asked that come up more than just once. You could also even work to either get or create a testimonial around those questions, or maybe you're doing a demonstration or a screen share showing something that answers an objection. Like there's so many cool things you can do in terms of creating content and creatives for your ads to answer those objections and questions in advance in your next ad. Another thing you can use comments for is you can try and look for unexpected like selling points. So if you got somebody praising something but wishing a feature was there or something was there that wasn't. And again, I'm not talking about a one-off case, although that still could be good, but especially if you hear it more than once, look for comments like that, because that might be something for you to consider, or it could also be a comment that reveals some kind of a new angle about how they use your product or service or why they bought. And maybe you didn't think of that. And maybe you haven't done an ad based off of that angle. That could be gold as well. And then the last thing is, in regards to negative comments, like you have to decide how you're going to handle comments. What I do is this: if I get a comment that's constructive, even though it might be negative, but it's constructive, and I can answer the question, that could actually make me look better, I'm going to leave it. Okay. If I get a comment from some a-hole who's just a jerk, a piece of crap, just spewing hate, then of course I'm just going to delete it. I don't care. It's just gone. So that kind of stuff, that's how I do it. But you want to figure out for you, what does that look like? How do you want to handle that? But I would encourage you not to automatically delete somebody that says, hey, this looks too expensive, unless they say it in a bad way. Now, if they say it in a way that's not respectful, if they're open to dialogue, that's different. But if they're a jerk about it, just delete it. But some of the best comments might be like people that are skeptical. And you can, number one, use that for your next ad in terms of what they say and how you craft some new creative to try and answer that. But you can also maybe answer those comments too, instead of just zapping them and deleting them. So make sure you've got a routine. Answer your comments, reply to your comments, get rid of any nasty crap, but then also look and see what can be used to make your ads smarter, better, and more effective in the future. And keep testing and look at that data and do more of what works and less of what doesn't. So I hope that was helpful. Do not ignore your comments, my friends. And as always, just a reminder, it's always important to point out that every business is unique. Results can vary. There's no guaranteed outcomes. So always keep that in mind. Episode 483 is in the books. If you want to get in touch, my website is philgrahamdigital.com. Next week, we're going to talk about whether Facebook and Instagram, the ads, did they really cause the sale that happened? If you got some sales, was it from Facebook and Instagram or not? We're going to talk about that next week. Until then, have a wonderful week, and I'll talk to you in next week's episode. Peace out.
Thanks for listening to the Next Level Facebook Ads Podcast. Please remember to subscribe and share this with all your friends. For show notes, more tips, and to learn more about Phil, please visit philgrahamdigital.com/podcast.